From Chicago streets to the courts beat, South Scott Dan on the podcast seat. Bulls breaking news, talking stats and views. Every player, every play, we never lose. Horns over hoops, we're the Bulls troop. From game analysis to fan scoop.
What's good, Bulls fans and Horniacs, and welcome back to a little show we like to call the Horns Over Hoops podcast. We are your hosts for the evening, Sal Bass, Scott Berman, and Dan Gracie. Fellas, how we doing today?
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
Yeah, not bad.
Not bad. How'd everyone enjoy the game last night?
It was nice to see the Bulls get a win, and it was nicer to see that the Bulls got their first Emirates Cup win.
Ooh, throwing up the Emirates there, too. I like it. Yeah. Before we get into that, though, fellas, Thanksgiving is right around the corner, like literally 3 days away. What are your plans? What's going on? What do you guys got going on for Thanksgiving?
I'm going to my in-laws for Thanksgiving, and then I'm going to my parents the 30th. They're in the Middle East right now. So
hold on.
From their trip.
Let's backtrack there.
Yeah, I know,
hold
right?
On.
Yeah.
I know. See, yeah, right. I've known your parents for a very long time. They don't strike me as people that frequent the Middle East. You want to let's evaluate this a little bit. What are they doing over there?
So my parents have been retired for, I don't know, a while. Mm-hmm. It's a blur now. But yeah, so their main goal since they've been retired is just pretty much to see the world.
Okay.
My dad has been wanting to see something in the Middle East. I forgot. Sorry, Dad.
Qatar, Mecca, or Dubai?
No, not Qatar. No, like a not Dubai, not a city, a like certain historical landmark.
Mecca?
In one of those countries. No, it wasn't the Mecca. I forgot what it was called. They saw the pyramids. They were in Cairo the other day.
What? Like Egypt?
Yeah.
Oh, damn, dude.
Yeah, dude. My parents live a very insane life.
I know.
Hey.
Now I know why.
I was nervous for them to go to the Middle East, but like they seem to be having a good time. They're with good people. So
now I know why your dad sold me those tickets. And now I know why you couldn't make it.
Yeah, they're literally not in America.
Oh, well, good. Scott.
So they can't even make it to Milwaukee.
They can't. Scott, what do you got going on?
I think I'm just going to my parents, and then my wife's aunt from Canada is going to be in town, so I'll probably see them or see her that Friday or the weekend. But editing a podcast, does that count? Sitting at home and watching Twisters.
Oh yeah, have you guys seen that yet?
Decent movie.
I haven't seen that.
Decent movie. I fell asleep during it, so you know.
So this might piss a lot of people off, you two especially. I think I literally just for the first time finished the original Twisters a few months back, or the original Twister.
You mean Twister?
Yeah, the singular, where there was only one.
It's a good movie.
Yeah, it was pretty good,
and it was great.
It was pretty good. Yeah,
good movie.
It was pretty good.
Okay, watch Backdraft next.
I still haven't seen that.
You're a firefighter. How have you not seen Backdraft?
I think it's because I never watched it, and then when it was time to watch it, it was already like too late. I didn't want to be the fisty guy that watches it. You know what I mean?
What's that other firefighter movie? Is it like Ladder 47 or something like that?
I haven't seen that either.
I thought that was that a movie or a show?
I'm not sure.
Maybe it's a show. Yeah. I don't know.
So yeah, watch
Backdraft.
Yep. Well, I plan on it. Well, fellas, we are here to talk, not just to talk about gobble gobble. We're here to talk about the Chicago Bulls. For those of you who haven't been watching, the Bulls are now 7-10 in the NBA. They're 7th in the East, and they've gone 4 for 6 in the last 10 games. We finally hit the 10-game mark, so I can start giving sample size in 10 games. Fellas, just out of curiosity, before we get into the meat and potatoes of this show, how are those numbers looking for you right now? 7-10 in the NBA, still a losing record, but not terrible. 7th in the East and 4-6 in the last 10 games. What do you guys think?
Okay. I mean, compared to last year, this is a good year so far. So I can't really do too much complaining. And I mean, like I said in the previous show, like the Bulls win, awesome. If they lose, awesome. We get like as long as we figure out a way to play good basketball but keep our pick, I'll be happy.
Yeah, honestly, this year is kind of a toss up. Is it? Are we going to go all in and get that pick, or are we going to try to make something of this team? Because this team does show flashes of being a very good team, a very good cohesive team. The problem is they display this on a very inconsistent basis. Scott, what do you think?
Right.
For as bad as they've been blown out, like a bunch this year,
Mm-hmm.
being only 3 games under 500 is kind of insane.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I think
So
we lost by like I think we had like 2 games in a row where we lost by like 30 plus points, and somehow we're still in the
Yeah.
playoff race. That's partially because
yeah,
the East is a joke right now. But
yeah, they've had a
we've
lot
beat
of
some
bad
decent
teams
teams,
go
and
down.
yeah, we've beat some decent teams, and we've played well against really good teams, which surprised me until the end, and then I don't know, they give up or something.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that because
Yeah,
that's going to be a
they pretty much
segment
just like
later.
lose interest.
They do.
Yeah,
Yeah, or they turn it on late in the game. Because even the game I went to, like as you guys know, I went. Dan's dad sold me the tickets to the Bucks game. Phenomenal seats, by the way. I've never sat that close at a Bulls game before. We're talking like 5 rows back from the court, and even that they were down. What was it, like 18 points before? They brought it back within 10
Mm.
before the half was over. But even then, it was like this is a good. It is a good team. We lose. We come out of the gates very slow, but then we always the third, fourth quarter make it a game. You know, I mean, we talked about this before, and that's the inconsistency that we want to address. There's no reason why we shouldn't come out of the gates swinging, leading the first 2 quarters. Um, but I'm glad you mentioned that because what do you think has been the key to that inconsistency?
Like, what's the cause of the inconsistency?
Yeah, like why do we turn it on so late? Why do you think we wait until quarter 3 to turn it on?
Oh, I mean, I honestly I have no idea. You gotta ask the Chicago Bulls that. I mean, because you know, I don't know if it's just like because we have such a like our young-ish roster, um, or what. But yeah, it's either that we're doing good in the first half and we lose it in the second half, or we're terrible in the first half and we turn it on in the second half. It's This has been a problem for what 2 seasons now, I want to say,
Yeah, we
and they still haven't figured out a way to fix it. Like I mean, we can only speculate. So yeah, it's just honestly up to Billy. So maybe it's Billy. Like this is I'm going to put the blame on Billy.
okay. Scott, what do you think? Why are we dragging ass the first 2 quarters?
because Billy feels like he has to play 10 people. It
Yeah,
doesn't matter how players are playing. He's like, oh well, it's time for the second unit to come on. No one from the or from the starting lineup can stay on the floor. Let's just put the worst lineup
uh,
possible out there. Doesn't matter if players are hot. Get them out of
right,
there. So it's just it.
right.
It seems like he's like coaching an all-star game where he's like everybody has to play at least a little bit. So
I I I wonder if
Yep.
that's coming from more like Billy's schemes or if it's like Jerry, because remember, and AK or the front office, because remember, who was it? Tibbs wanted to keep Joe in, but like the front office and the higher ups wanted him out, and that's ultimately what ended up being like Tibbs, like what's the word I'm looking for?
Downfall.
downfall.
Like the hill, yeah, downfall. Um, so I'm wondering if it's more Billy or the front office, but it's definitely, I don't think this is 100% the player's fault.
No. I mean, the fact of the matter is, the only blame I do put on the players is that sometimes we really don't recognize that we try to force a lot of threes, and of course, as everybody knows, we're trying to go to a 3-point shooting team. I think we're averaging like 43-point shots a game, which is good when they go in. When they're not going in, it's a long game. The Bulls need to recognize if their shots are not falling, attack the paint. You have probably arguably one of the better lane drivers in Ayo Dosunmu. Kobe can drive the lane. Zach can drive the lane. We have a lot of players that can slash and get to the cup, but we consistently rely on trying to force up a 3-point shot and try to get ourselves hot. You know what I mean? And it takes us out of the game. So I think that's my reason why we're so inconsistent, is because we don't recognize where our shots are hitting early on in the game. But fellas, last night the shots were falling. The Bulls did something we have never done before, and that is we finally won an NBA Cup game, as Dan mentioned earlier. We beat the Atlanta Hawks, arguably probably our second easiest win of the season. Probably a lot. Yeah, I'd probably say it's the easiest one, because the Milwaukee Bucks game where we beat them, we still kind of had to battle back. But this one, we were winning by almost 20 at one point.
Didn't we beat Detroit?
Yeah, we handled Detroit really easy, but I mean that game in and of itself was kind of a battle. But how do you feel about the win?
I feel like we have the Hawks number. And that's really sad for Atlanta.
Yeah.
But I'm okay with it because fuck Trae Young. The Bulls played really, really, really well last night. I always lately I've been checking the plus minus after every game.
Ooh, good stat.
And it was the first time I've seen none of the Bulls players have a minus.
Really?
Impact. Yeah, none of them did.
I'm glad
and usually Giddey's like the biggest one.
Yep.
That has a minus next to him. But like yesterday, I think he was plus like 19.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that plus minus, because that's a stat that really gets overlooked. I'm glad you're checking that. Those are like the real stats. Anyone can look at points. Like if you're getting 30 points a game, but you're chucking up 40 shots a game and only hitting 19 of them, and then you're getting the rest from the free throw. That's not really a good stat. It's plus minus. Yeah. Who had the highest plus minus yesterday? Do you remember?
I think it was Giddey.
It was Giddey.
Right now.
It was Giddey. What was it? 26 plus 26?
Yeah, he had 9. No, he was 19.
19.
He had 19.
Kobe was plus 18.
Yeah, and that's a huge turnaround, considering the fact that lately a lot of Bulls fans have been saying that Giddey has not been playing up to the standards that he should be playing at. But Scott,
real quick, I lied. Julian Phillips had -3, -3.
Fucking
embarrassing. We should cut him.
Oh, that's my boy. You guys leave my boy alone, man.
Julian Phillips? Yeah. I like Phillips.
Okay, real quick. I'm going to address this because the Bulls also did not start a tried and true power forward last night. And Julian Phillips, when he comes in, he plays that power forward position. So any speculations as to why we did not start JP at the power forward yesterday?
Well, apparently because he's bad.
They explained it yesterday.
What was that?
The reason they started Ayo is because he matches up so well against Trae Young. That's the only reason why he was starting. Plus, he's he's the best power forward on our team. So just saying, he scored 20 points.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Ayo killed it last night. I was surprised by the lineup because I saw that Ayo was starting and they were talking about the Trae Young matchup and everything, but I wasn't looking at the TV or anything like that. And then the tip off happened and I noticed that like Giddey was still there and I was like, wait, where the fuck's that? Oh, I was at power forward.
Yeah.
But it worked out. So I guess good job, Billy.
Yeah, it did work out. I mean, Billy electing to stray away from a conventional power forward, plays power forward, electing to go with one of his guards, swingmen, whatever you want to consider Ayo at this point. And well, sometimes he's out there at shooting guard. Sometimes he's out there at small forward. I mean, the man is very versatile. He can cover.
Soon he'll be center, and Vooch will be at point.
Yeah, so crazy like that. But Scott, what do you think was the biggest key to success of yesterday's game?
The assist numbers.
Oh,
We had 36 assists. We had we were passing the ball a lot. We are also shooting super efficiently. We shot 57% from the field,
yeah,
44% from the three. And guess what? We hit free throws.
yes,
We hit 90% of our free throws.
yes,
Yeah,
And we actually got to the line. How about that?
yeah, yes,
Unlike the Bucks game where we shot 7 free throws, we shot 21 yesterday.
yes.
That's what it was.
Scott,
Because we were driving
Scott
to the
mentioned this on
basket,
the line.
getting contact. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
Scott
that's
mentioned
why
this on a prior
also,
live that
I, yeah, I can't believe Kobe shot 12 threes.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
dude, I'm telling you,
Yeah.
Kobe will, by the time he retires, he will be the leading 3-point shooter on our team. I'm calling it now. So, I, I know, Dan, you kind of mentioned it, but I kind of want to touch on this. Trae Young had 25 points yesterday. I don't know if you guys knew this, but he ended up with 25 points
yeah.
yesterday, but he did it really quietly. It didn't seem like Trae Young, who's probably arguably one of their better players, if not the best player, was not a factor in yesterday's game at all. I mean, he still got his points, but he did it in a way that it didn't matter to us. Like, we completely took Trae Young out of the game as a whole. Do you guys think that that was a big contributor to the Bulls' success in winning that game, or do you think that it was just we're playing so well that it didn't matter?
I think that we were playing so well it didn't matter. I feel like Trae Young always gets like 20 plus points, but he does it in a very sneaky, quiet way.
Mm-hmm.
Like every time I've seen him, I'm just like, fuck Trae Young. And then I look at the stat sheet and the guy is like killing it on the court, but I'm just like, how did this happen?
Yeah, yesterday's game was
When
one
did
of
this
them.
happen?
Yeah,
So, but yeah, I just think we were playing good enough basketball where it didn't matter because only two of their players had 20 plus points.
yeah,
So I think we just took care of what we needed to take care of well enough to where like, yeah, you can drop like 40. It doesn't matter.
right. Yeah, yeah. Him and Jalen Johnson split a 25 piece, and Trae Young actually dropped back and started being a passer. He ended up with like 13 assists. He had a monster game, 25 points and 13 assists. And usually when you see a stat like that, you would think they won the game, but they ended up losing by 16. So, Scott, what do you think?
I kind of feel like the Hawks can't survive if they rely on Trae Young. They need other players to step up. Jalen Johnson's obviously going to be, he's going to score 20, 25 points a game, but you need the rest of the team to step up. Clint Capella, he's still a really good center, but I forgot the guy they drafted this year. I feel like he's not living up to where his draft stock is. And I think that's holding him back a lot.
Oh, Zachary Rasache?
Yeah.
Rasache?
Yeah.
Like I know
the number one overall pick?
Yeah, I think he's had some good games, but it's like he's not dominating like a number one overall pick should.
Right. Yeah,
And
I think he had
that's
a
holding him
37
back.
piece against a good team.
Yeah.
But I think a big contributing factor is, I mean, you guys have the stats open, you can check right now, is the Atlanta Hawks didn't shoot the ball well at all. I mean, they still got up a lot of 3-point shots, but I don't think they were hitting them. I think Bogdanovich was the only one that was actually hitting those shots. So, but taking this win aside and how well we played, can this team carry this style of play going forward into other teams? I know that the Atlanta Hawks are not necessarily one of the better teams in the NBA, but can the Chicago Bulls play this way against the powerhouses of the league? Like, I'm not saying that we can beat every team is beatable, but what I'm saying is, can we transcend this style of play into the better teams and maybe narrow those gaps where instead of losing by 15 points to a powerhouse team, we close the gap to within 10. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't think we can beat like these powerhouse teams, but I think if we play the right way and like unfortunately they're gonna have to play some defense.
Right.
Um, then I think we can cut these blowout losses down to like maybe single digits, like maybe 10.
Yeah. Well, that's
If we lose by 10, I'm just like, at least we didn't get blown out.
real quick. How many digits are in 10?
Double.
You said
I said single or 10.
okay.
I said single or 10.
Okay. Scott, what do you think? Do you think this team has the capability to play this way? I don't want to say every game because we're going to have off games, but just on a more consistent basis.
Yeah, we're losing tonight.
Probably not.
Against Memphis? Probably not.
Yeah,
What do you? Why do you think not?
I just think they're so inconsistent, and the Hawks aren't a good defensive team, and that's why we do so well against them. Like Trae Young is terrible at offense. He can't stay in front of anybody. He's an offensive player. So it's when we play a team that actually is going to play some defense against us, we end up chucking up bad threes, or we can't drive to the lane. When we're able to get to the lane, we're a decent team and we have a chance to win. When there's actual centers or they make us take bad threes, no, not a chance. So,
Yep.
no.
Yep.
I think they're going to be close to 500. But we'll see. I do think they're going to break what was it? 30? Was that what we were expected to get?
Yeah, we're projected to win 30 games.
I think we'll beat that. Like,
you think we're going to pass that?
Yeah,
just because the East is so bad.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I saw some predictions saying that the Bulls are only going to win like 25 games and that we're going to be like the second worst team in the East.
Yeah, it also depends on if they trade players. Because if they get rid of Zach, this team is not winning games. Same if you get rid of Vooch, they're going to be. I think if they get rid of Vooch, it's going to be even worse than getting rid of Zach.
Oh yeah, Vooch has been arguably our best player this year. The man's been minus the rebounds. He's been our most consistent scoring player. I mean, the man had a double yesterday before the half was over. I mean, 9 points, but basically double. So I'm going to say that this team does have the capability to play this hard, game in and game out. Take away the back-to-backs. I get fatigue as a question, but just as far as playing, taking care of the basketball, recognizing the hot hand. But this also, and I hate to pick on the guy, but this also falls on Billy. We've said it all season this year and all season last year. The man he's become habitual at taking out the hot player. You know, Kobe can go on a tear where he hits 3 threes in a row and he gets rewarded by here, take a break. You know, we battled back from 15 points down. Now we narrowed it down to 6. All right, yeah, let's take you out. Like, no, like leave them in there until you either tie the game or the opposing team goes on a run and it's like, all right, take you out, get a breather. You know what I mean? But yeah, I think this team has the ability to play hard every single game. For whatever reason, we get lazy. We don't take care of the basketball. We're not rebounding. We're fumbling around with these lineups that make no sense whatsoever. And it's our Achilles heel. So all these good teams in the league, if you guys notice, they recognize they have a tried and true established lineup and rotation from the beginning of the season going forward. And, you know, obviously if injuries become a play, they plug and play. But our biggest problem that we've been having is we just throw random lineups out there and hope that it works. And speaking of random lineups, yesterday, one of the biggest things that I took away from this game was Billy played Matas Buzelis 16, 17 minutes last game. He actually played his rookie.
I thought he had like 20.
I think he had close to 17, 20 minutes.
Yeah, like 19 to be exact.
19, see?
The exact number.
And
but yeah, no, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I loved every minute of Buzelis out there on the court. He made some mistakes, but I mean that's expected with him being a rookie.
Yeah.
But he also made some like really good high energy plays.
Yes.
So that's like I think. I mean, we were talking about AK's draft picks on the live with Q and everything, and I think that Bruzelis might be a good pick from this front office.
Oh yeah.
We
Yeah.
just gotta wait, continue to wait and
Yeah.
see. But so far, so good. Better than
Yeah.
Pat.
It's because
Yeah.
he can actually dunk the ball.
Scott.
No, that's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah. The man had 2 dunks, almost like back to back. He had 2 dunks.
Yeah, he just needs to continue to get more minutes. As long as he gets his confidence back and getting his shooting, if his shots start landing, I think he's going to turn into a decent player. So yeah, I was kind of surprised that they're starting to play him more, but hopefully he starts playing more and then they stop giving minutes to Dalen Terry. I know a lot of people like him, but he's like, I don't care if he's an energy guy. That's not going to help us. He's too reckless on the floor. So the more minutes that Bruzelis can
Yeah.
get, the better. I think he'll figure out his turnover issues and get better on defense. But he just needs more time in the court. And I'm so glad he's doing it up here and not in the G League, because I don't think the G League is going to help him.
No, he's dominating the G
No,
League.
Yeah.
he already dominated the G League. Like, you're too good to be here, so we have to move you up.
Yeah.
But the coach isn't going to give you any minutes.
Yeah.
There's zero logic in that.
Yeah.
So give the boy some, or not the boy, god damn it. Give the man some minutes.
Well, that's the thing. You guys hit it right on the head. Is like just like any other profession, the more you do something, the better you become at it. So if we're putting Matas in there 4 or 5 minutes a game just for the sake of putting him out there, he's not going to develop. You know what I mean? The one thing I dislike about Billy is that he does this thing where the rookies are not allowed to play. And I don't want to say not allowed to play. They play limited minutes. And you're never going to develop a rookie like that because of the fact that they need to be out there. They need to get out there with NBA talent, with men. They don't need to be down there with the G League. You know, anybody can dominate the G League, but then come up to the NBA and look like a clown, like a giraffe on roller skates. And I think with Pat being injured, I think that was the biggest precursor to Matas playing big minutes because he's got the size. But when he came in there, I noticed a different Matas Buzelis. He was a little bit more calm. He was a little bit more lax. He recognized his assignment. He had that one great block that, defense transitioned into offense. He had that one monster dunk that he had over, what was his name? That wasn't Capella, was it, Scott? Who do you dunk over?
I don't think it was
Or Jalen Johnson. So obviously then the more he plays, he's going to be more comfortable with his role. I just think that Billy should recognize that Matas needs to develop. He was a projected #1 overall pick that slid to 14. So clearly the talents are there. He just needs to play him more and develop those skills. So I really like Matas. I think it was a steal of a draft, and I'm very, very excited to see what his future looks like going forward. But moving on, guys, we're about almost 20 games into the season. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but right around 20 games this season is usually when we start to see the dreaded I word, and I'm talking injuries. As you know, we've had Lonzo with his hand. Pat Williams has got his left foot inflammation. Kobe White had that, I don't know if it was neck stiffness, but he had that neck issues. And Torrey Craig banged his knee up pretty good in the Milwaukee Bucks game. I know the training staff said that it was just he hit his funny bone, but they still, I don't know if it was because of that, but he still didn't play.
Who is it?
Torrey Craig.
Oh, okay.
He still didn't play yesterday against the Hawks. I don't know if it was precautionary or just Billy doesn't like playing Torrey Craig. But do you guys see any big injuries coming soon? I'm not wishing bad things on players, but who do you see getting injured relatively soon and kind of taking the wind out of the Bulls' sails that we got going right now?
Maybe Zach because Zach has a history of injuries.
Okay.
The one thing, since we're talking about injuries, just want to say that I'm not a fan of our training staff. The whole thing with Lonzo being out for 10 days and then now he's been out for how it feels like 2 to 4 weeks almost, it feels like.
Yeah. Okay.
The whole Pat thing with just checking out his foot and now he's going to be out for how long?
Uh,
Like they're saying
No
like,
one
oh,
really
that's
knows.
just a precautionary,
they said it.
and now he's out maybe indefinitely. Like there's no timetable
They
apparently.
said they're going to reevaluate him
So
next week.
and he'll probably be out for another 4 weeks after that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
So I would just like a little bit more honest and transparency from that side of the organization.
yeah, I agree.
But that said, yeah, I think it's mainly Zach is on the watch list for injuries, just because of his history. Who knows about Lonzo? The boys' bones are made of paper, apparently.
Uh,
So I mean, it's kind of a wait and see kind of situation. Like, I don't wish injuries on any of these
right.
guys.
Right. I just want to speculate that I'm not wishing injuries on anybody. I'm not saying that at all, but
Right,
it is a long season. We do have a lot
right.
of injury prone players, and where we are 7-10, we're playing as a whole. I'd say we're playing relatively well given our talent level, but injuries do play a factor in the season. Scott, who do you got?
Mm-hmm. It's inevitable.
Exactly.
Oh, I think Zach's gonna get hurt. He's gonna hear rumors of him going to somewhere like the Wizards and then get hurt.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
but really, it's
I
just
think it's pretty legit.
he actually might get hurt. He drives to the basket pretty recklessly a lot of times, and he does a lot of those really quick stops and turns and
Yep.
step backs. So there's always a chance of a knee injury, but I don't know. I have a feeling Pat's injury is way worse than we think it is.
Yeah.
Lonzo's wrist injury is pretty much exactly what Pat had last year, and he was shut down for the year. So I wouldn't be surprised if we don't even see him the rest of the year, and maybe his career's over too. There's a very big possibility of
Yeah.
that. Like after such a long comeback, and he looked really good when he came back. To have a wrist injury, and especially your shooting wrist, I don't know if he'll ever come back.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll see. Luckily, we got one in the chamber with Matas, and he looks like he's on the up and up. So it sucks that we paid Pat the money, and he's damaged goods. I don't want. I'm just going to call it what it is, damaged goods. But
I mean, he
right,
he is. He is.
right. But it's
I mean, this is supposed to be Pat's like prove it to me year,
yeah,
where he's supposed to prove all the haters wrong, and so far we have been right about
yeah.
Pat.
Now,
Like
like Scott did say,
there,
he did have some good games, but he got hurt.
oh, for sure. But like you're constantly hurt. When you're not hurt, you're in your head and you're not playing good basketball. We gave you 90 million because we didn't really have a choice.
Right.
And now we're stuck with a guy that probably should have gone in the second round.
Yeah. Yeah. Honestly, dude, Dan Gracie bringing up some solid points. Look at that. Now, going forward, I'm with you guys. The training staff has never been a good one. I mean, we've had a long time rumored issues of having a terrible training staff, and you're starting to see it manifest itself. As far as Pat Williams is concerned, I think that the guy's a great player when he wants to be, but injuries are too much of a factor. Now, like Dan said, we're stuck with the man for the next 5 years. Yeah, he makes only 90 mil, but that paycheck is still on the books for a player that more or less, like you said, wasn't really fit to be a number 4 overall pick. So I think with Matas being on the up and up, I wouldn't be surprised if even when Pat is healthy, you see eventually, I'm not saying this year, eventually Matas surpasses Pat Williams for that starting power forward role.
Mm.
So But
I would not be surprised.
But fellas, despite all the injuries and despite all the negative stepbacks, what can the Bulls do now, almost 20 games in the season, to kind of build a successful rest of the season? I'm not necessarily saying a winning season, but build a successful season. Dan.
Keep the hot man in. Just just work on some defense.
Yeah.
Like the team needs to work on defense overall. Giddy needs to do nothing but practice your jump shot, practice then do defense drills. That is all I want you to do. You're a fantastic passer. You can get good rebounds. You drive decent enough.
Yeah.
But that dude can't shoot and he can't play defense for shit.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Scott?
I think we need to continue feeding Vooch down low. He's playing back to his days when he was on the Magic. That's what he looks like, minus the ability to rebound. Well,
yeah.
I think he's actually getting pretty close to his stats in his Magic days. So keep feeding him the ball. Zach needs to stay engaged. Same with Kobe. Both of them seem like if they're not getting the ball, they kind of disengage from the game. So if they can do that, really, I just want everybody to have Io's drive, because that guy is always in the game and he's always willing to just play defense on anybody or go after the ball. My favorite things that he does is someone takes a jump shot, he's immediately running to the basket for a rebound. No one else does that. I forgot what game it was that we won because he was the only one running to the basket and got that rebound to just clear it, to reset the shot clock. So that's what I want. More people to be engaged like Io.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Real quick, I feel like all the rookies and the young players that are on this roster need to look at Io and be like, that's what I need to do if I want to see minutes on the court.
Bingo.
Because Io's the blueprint of what a young player should be.
Bingo. I honestly, before I get into my success, you guys are absolutely right. On any other team, you would be scratching your head as to say, why is Io coming off the bench? The man plays, if he plays 28, 30 minutes a game, he is Io Dosunmu for all 30 of those minutes. The man hustles. He does it on defense. He does it on offense. He can slash to the rim. He's probably the best rim slasher we have on this team. Let's just say it. He has the ability for him to get to the rim in traffic, open lanes. I mean, that little layup that he's got is just fundamental. It's money every single time. And Stacey King even said a couple times, he's like, Io Dosunmu is serious from the time he starts the game to the time he ends it. There's no joking about him. When he goes to work, he goes to work. And I feel like almost I would love to see him in the starting role soon. I mean, I know we're very guard heavy and there's the conflict of who do you start him over? But the problem is the man is putting up numbers. He's just doing everything right. So eventually I would like to see him slide into that starting rotation. I think he has the capabilities of it. As far as building a successful rest of the season goes, I'm with you guys. I don't see us being a playoff team. I think we're going to mess around and lose that top 10 pick just because of the fact that the Bulls like to stay competitive. Yeah. But for the rest of the season,
I have that feeling too.
Exactly. Yeah. And it'll not pay dividends when this draft pool is just completely stacked and we don't get one of those good players. But I'd like to see us limit turnovers. I mean, I know we're doing a better job of limiting turnovers, but I'd like to see them cut down on that a lot. Another big thing that we've not been doing very well is recognizing the switch. The Bulls have been getting schooled on the switch. Every time other teams run the switch, leaves either the lane open or an open three-point shot, and Bulls need to do a better job of recognizing that. Hustling back on defense. How many times have you seen the Bulls either make an amazing play, a layup, a dunk, shoot an incredible three, and then they're like walking or jogging back on defense, and you see a
Yeah.
2/3 court pass to an open player down. We got to do a better job of recognizing that because it happens early on and frequent. Recognizing the hot hand early, we mentioned that earlier. If Io is hot, there's no reason to give Zach the ball who's not shooting the greatest just for the sake of having Zach have the basketball. I mean, we saw this last year with DeRozan where Kobe was hot, but for whatever reason, we had to give the ball to DeRozan just because he was DeRozan. And stick to lineups that work, man.
Mm.
It's 20 games in the season. You should not be experimenting with lineups. I understand testing players out to see what they can do,
Yeah.
but not switching 4 players up at a time. You know what I'm saying? What do you got? What do you got, Dan?
That's what preseason's for. That's what preseason's for.
Exactly.
You had all
Exactly.
preseason to experiment with rotations and lineups, and for some reason you're still doing it. Like you're
Exactly.
still trying to figure out. Like, Billy, do you know your roster?
Thank you. Thank you. That's what I'm trying to tell you is by 20 games into a season, and some of these, with the exception of one player, and that's Matas Buzelis, and I'll give you Jalen Smith, you should know the capabilities of your players by now. You've had these players for multiple years. I mean, even if it's just 2,
Mhm.
you should recognize their ability, their growth, and plug and play wherever deemed necessary. You should not be experimenting 20 games into a season. Scott?
Yeah, pretty much. We question what their lineup is all the time. And like I said earlier, Billy acts like this is an all-star game and everybody has to play. And that causes us to go down big pretty early. So
Yeah.
stop doing that, Billy.
Yeah.
Be a better coach.
Yeah. Yeah. Honestly, and he's starting to do it. I'll give it to him. He's starting to do it a little bit in the sense of he stopped trying to force Taylor Horton Tucker to play. He stopped throwing Terry out there for as many minutes as
That
he was.
motherfucker got benched.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, he had that game where he came in. I think he committed a turnover, a terrible shot, and a foul. And Billy's like, enough. I think he registered 59 seconds that game. So, and then my final key to the successful season is just play every game hard. You guys are professional athletes. I don't want to say do your job because, I get it. It's a long, strenuous season, but there's no reason you should come out flat-foot, man. These fans paid good money to come and watch you play, and for the good of the town that you represent, and for the good of yourselves and the fans, just go out there and play every game hard. You're not going to win all 82 games, but you should be fighting every single game to win every single game. You know what I'm saying? And it seems like we're playing not to lose by very much instead of playing to take the win. And that's what I'd like to see going forward. So we'll see. Only time will tell. Like I said, we're about almost a quarter of the way through with the season, so we'll see what it has in store for us. But fellas, moving on, we're scheduling a Horns or Thorns in this episode. We haven't done Horns or Thorns in a while, so we're going to bring it back. For those of you at home who don't know what horns or thorns are, it's basically this or that. You just either say horns if you agree with it, or thorns if you disagree with it. You guys can play along too. Drop your horns or thorns in the comment section down below, and let me know what you think of these. All right, fellas, you ready for them?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, well, you got a little schmutz on your shirt there, Dan.
I'm finding dog fur everywhere.
Yeah, one of the perks of being a dog owner. All right.
Yeah, I mean it's more than usual. That's why.
Yeah. And actually, before we start Horns or Thorns, can we take a brief second to just pay respect to the exceptionally exquisite hat that Scott Berman is rocking with that Hartford Whalers hat? That is clean.
That's a nice hat.
It is.
I
a
couldn't
nice
find
hat.
my other hat, so this is my replacement hat for the day.
Yeah, you know what?
The backup.
You know
My
what?
backup
Screw it.
hat.
Burn
Yeah,
the hat.
exactly.
Stick with that one. That's a great hat.
I'm not going to burn
We'll
that
say
hat,
to this
though.
day the Hartford. Wait, is it our
Hartford
hat?
Whalers. No, I did see that hat, but I chose this one over it because it's the best.
Okay.
It's one of the best logos in sports history. So
Yeah,
I had to rock it.
the Chicago Bulls being the first one. But anyway,
It's up there.
Horns or thorns, gentlemen? We have 5 of them for you today. Horns or thorns, number 1 is the Chicago Bulls will win at least one more cup game.
Horns. They're going to beat the Wizards.
Okay. Dan?
Oh, we got the Wizards? Yeah, Horns.
Okay.
Horns.
All right.
I didn't know who was in our pool.
We have the
Yeah,
Celtics
we have,
and the Wizards.
The Celtics, Wizards, Cavs,
Okay,
and,
yeah.
and
Lose to the Celtics.
Beat
and
the
then
Celtics
beat
by
the
30,
Wizards.
lose to the Wizards. End
Dude,
up missing
could you-
it. Yeah.
30.
could you imagine if we mess around and win this group and move on? Jeez. All right.
No, wait. As soon as the Celtics are in this, no.
Yeah. Horns or thorns, number 2. The Bulls make a trade before the deadline. Not a block, but it doesn't have to be a blockbuster player, but just a trade.
It's hard to say because it's the Chicago Bulls.
You guys have heard the rumors
I'm gonna say
Torrey Craig is being
I'm gonna say Horns.
Horns. Okay.
I'm gonna say Horns that we're gonna try to make a trade. Will it actually happen? I don't know.
Okay. Did you guys, real quick before Scott answers, did you guys hear the rumors that Torrey Craig is being scouted by the Milwaukee Bucks, or shopped, or not shopped? He's being scouted by the Milwaukee Bucks. There was rumors, like, I don't know if they're a reliable source, but NBA Central reported that Torrey Craig was shown interest by the Milwaukee Bucks, and they were willing to offer us Beauchamp or Malik Beasley.
So that was the only reason he played that game, just to see how he was.
I don't know.
Pretty much.
But would you take Beauchamp or Beasley?
I would take anybody. Torrey Craig's not playing, so who cares?
Yeah.
Just mixed up.
Perfect. So horns or thorns? Do you think
Plus
do you think we make a trade?
I think if we do make a trade, it'll be a small trade, and we're going to end up keeping like Zach LaVine and Vucevic. And then like a week or two after, we're going to hear about the Bulls were offered 3 first-round picks, but AK was like, no, I think we need a little bit more, or something ridiculous like that.
Yeah. So horns.
Yeah, I think they make a small trade. Hopefully
Perfect.
THT is off our team, or the Bucks can have Javon Carter back or something like that.
Doesn't sound like they want him, but anyway. Horns or thorns? Number 3. Zach LaVine drops at least 50 points at one point during the season. So one game he'll put up 50 points.
I'll say Horns.
Okay. Scott?
I don't need to explain myself.
You don't.
I think Horns, and it'll be close to the deadline. There will be one game, like he'll get rumors of like certain teams looking at him, and he just
Like LA.
Yeah, he just won't pass the ball, and he will go crazy.
Ooh, okay.
He may not
like
drop
it.
50, but he's at least dropping 40 at least once.
So
Yeah, I'll say instead of 40, he'll get like 47.
So thorns from both of you, he won't drop 50?
No, I think he's going to drop an insane amount.
I don't think he'll hit
points.
50, but he's definitely going to have a game where he drops 40 plus.
Okay. Horns or thorns, number 4. I like this one because he's already so close. Kobe White has a game where he hits 10 3-pointers. Ooh.
I don't know.
Dan looks perplexed. I think he had an 8. He had an 8 one game, so he just needs 2 more.
Fuck it, Horns.
Yeah. All right.
Say Horns.
Scott.
If anything, he'll shoot 10 threes. Will they go in?
Oh, I think he's averaging at least 10 to 12 shots a game, so.
Are you just talking this season or just in general?
Oh, this season. This is all this season.
I don't think he does. I think he hits 8, maybe 9. I don't see him hitting 10. He's only taking like he took 12 threes last game. I don't see him doing that. He needs to start shooting more if he's going to hit 10. But no, he's no J.R. Smith.
Uh, and our final horns are that's good. And our final horns or thorns question is: the Chicago Bulls register at least one All-Star this year?
Thorns. Yeah.
Thorns.
Can
Thorns.
we?
Okay.
Does the rookie game count? Because I think Buzelis might make the rookie game.
No.
Has he
Kobe
even
may
registered enough minutes
Kobe
to make
may
that?
get into the 3-point contest, but that's about it.
Oh, okay. So no All Stars. Okay. I'm gonna say I think we do have at least one All Star this year. Okay. And I think it'll be Vooch. Just saying. I think Embiid will be hurt. All the centers will get hurt, and Vooch will win in on a technicality. So, all right, that was
Yeah, but
what's that?
like for the All-Star game, they don't go by positions. It's only backcourt, front court.
I thought they still had center as a position. I thought it was like, if it is from, well, who knows? Because they're changing up the format this year to that like 4-game like tournament.
Oh,
So we'll see.
okay.
I still think the Bulls get some sort of representation, but so that was horns or thorns. If you have any ideas for horns or thorns, leave it in the comments section down below. Hit us up. Fellas, gobble gobble. I am in the spirit. Thanksgiving is one of my favorite holidays because you can be an absolute fat ass, and it's the only time of the year where it's absolutely acceptable. So it ties into our last segment for the show, and it is called Mount Hornsmore. So, gentlemen, drop me your Mount Hornsmore of best Thanksgiving Day food.
That's easy. All right. So turkey, mashed potatoes, stuffing. My mom's mac and cheese. My mom makes great mac
Your
and
mom
cheese.
makes phenomenal mac and cheese.
And then the last one is going to be pie.
Which one?
Doesn't matter what kind of pie. Just give me some pie.
Which pie?
I mean, if you want, I mean, it doesn't really matter, but I'm a big fan of pumpkin. If I do eat pumpkin pie, it has to have whipped cream on it. I can't eat it plain, or else it just no.
Little cool whip.
If it's not that, then a little Cool Whip.
Little cool whip.
And if it's not that, then French silk.
Oh yeah.
French silk is one of my favorite pies of all time.
Can we just real quick pay respect to how underappreciated French silk pie is? Like,
I think. I mean, I hold it in high regard.
you know what? Our next Mount Hornsmore is going to be give me your top 5 pies. Like I've decided that's going to be our next one.
Is Dwayne the Rock Johnson joining us for this?
I hope. Yeah. No, he's too busy filming Fast and the Furious Part like 13 or whatever it is.
The same role over and over and over again.
One last ride. Scott Berman, what is your Mount Hornsmore of Thanksgiving food?
Green bean casserole. Love it.
Yeah. With little
Mashed
French
potato.
onions on top.
Yeah, obviously. Mashed potatoes.
Everyone makes it. Okay.
Glazed carrots. I don't know if you've ever had brown sugar glazed carrots. It's
Yeah.
just literally
okay.
carrots covered in butter and brown sugar. It's delicious.
Oh yeah. That's kind of like it's more or less like sweet potato. You know what I mean? The sweet potato thing.
I'm not a
Right?
fan of sweet potatoes.
Yeah, it's kind of.
I'm not a fan.
No.
I don't need marshmallow in my side dish.
The DJ. The DJ.
No.
All right. Two more.
2 more. Pecan pie. But
Okay.
I refuse to eat it with a fork since it's so thick you can eat it like a pizza slice. So, and I think I just do it to piss off Alex. You can literally just pick up a slice of pecan pie and just eat it with your hand. And I do it, and I think I do it just to upset Alex.
Oh God, no! I can 100% see you doing this.
Well, here's the thing. Like, there, with the exception of the fruit pies, you can almost eat every single pie with your hands.
Yeah, you can do that with almost every pie.
Yeah. And then your final one.
Can I just say gravy because you could put that shit on everything? Literally,
Yeah.
you just
I mean,
stuffing.
yeah.
I don't know. You just put gravy. You can just pour it all over everything on your plate, and it's great. I think turkey's
Not a turkey
overrated.
guy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, chicken is way
Overrated.
better than turkey. Like I've never
it
had
really
like
is.
I
a
don't disagree.
great turkey.
Yeah.
All right.
Have you tried?
Have you ever had the Popeyes
No, because
turkey?
I'm not
Yeah, that's been
spending
going viral some.
$90 for a goddamn turkey.
It's not $90. It's like $40 if you actually go there. It's $90 to pre-buy and then for them to ship it to your house. If you just go to any Popeyes, it's like 40 to
No,
50
I'm good.
Hold
bucks.
up, you're telling me they're giving you $50 on shipping?
It's something ridiculous. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what, I'm willing to try that because
It's
it's
delicious
going
though.
viral. Like right now, the Cajun turkey, because it's Cajun, right? Obviously, it's the Cajun kitchen. Is going
Mhm.
viral. Like a lot of people are saying it's like one of the best turkeys they've had. It's great. It's worth the money, and it's worth it to not have to spend all
It's
day in your kitchen.
100%.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm
100%.
obviously in Thanksgiving the bird is the most important part, but if you can take the stress off of cooking the bird and just make some kick-ass side dishes, you got a good Thanksgiving going. Heck yeah, dude. All right. Let's see, my horns more. Uh, number 5, I'm going with stuffing, but specifically stovetop stuffing. I love stovetop stuffing. Cornbread. Cornbread is an underappreciated. What? Cornbread is so underappreciated. I love it. Especially
Oh, no.
you throw a couple cans of fresh
I was thinking
kernels
about
in
something
there.
in my head.
Well, obviously you think in your head, but
Hey,
uh,
just to jump in, if you ever make chili, put cornbread in it instead of crackers.
ooh,
So much better.
ooh. I'm gonna take you up on that next.
Yeah, yeah. It just blew your
Number
mind.
3,
You didn't even think of that.
I did. I didn't. 3, I know you guys are gonna hate me for this and hang me out to dry. Uh, Cranberry sauce. I love cranberry sauce.
Only from the can.
Okay.
Yeah, no, yeah, yes,
Yeah.
from the can. Like, yeah, the little like where you take it out of the can and it retains its shape. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Uh,
If it's fresh, I don't want that shit.
no, and plus you have more important stuff to do. Number 2, probably just mashed potatoes. Mashed potatoes is mashed potatoes is phenomenal. And I'm also gonna my number 5, my favorite Thanksgiving dish, because I'm with you guys. I love turkey, but it's too dry, and I feel like it's just a gimmick at this point. Plus, then think a month later for Christmas we have turkey again, so it gets repetitive. But number 5 would be my mom's Rice Krispies that she makes every year for Thanksgiving.
Okay.
She makes Rice Krispies. I get to miss out on it this year, unfortunately, but her Rice Krispies are out of this world. I'm a big Rice Krispie guy, so Rice Krispies.
I I think it's insane that I'm the only person that said turkey. I don't know what kind of turkey you guys are having at your Thanksgivings, but I don't know.
Well,
Whoever's cooking needs to step it up.
here's the
So I
thing.
guess I don't
I
know.
don't hate turkey. It's just the stigma is just too like it's too gimmicky. Like I love turkey. No thanks. Like you have to have turkey there because Thanksgiving without turkey is like spaghetti without meatballs. It's an Italian reference there, but um,
So Italian.
whatever. I'm wearing the shirt, so shout out
Yeah.
hardcore Italians. But it's just I don't know. Like you spend all day like destroying your stress and your body preparing the perfect bird, and like it's always
Yeah.
just okay,
As you should.
always just okay. Like I've had deep
No,
fried, I've had
it's so juicy because all that stress and sweat and blood that you're and tears that you're putting into that turkey. Yeah.
I'm never gonna be able to eat turkey the same way again. But real quick, have you guys ever had a smoked turkey?
Fuck yeah, man.
Okay,
Ever had a deep fried turkey?
I've had deep fried. It's pretty succulent. I like it. It's pretty succulent. I like it.
All
But
it's all good.
smoked turkey, like I don't know what it is, but just like the smoke, how it like forms a shell over the turkey and just keeps all the juices inside. Oh, but
Mhm.
like,
Nice little bark around that
oh
turkey. Yeah.
yeah, bark, yeah. But regular oven roasted turkey, it's okay. Yeah, you got to have some meat for Thanksgiving. So So that was my top 5. So that was Mount Hornsmore, ladies and gentlemen. If you have an idea for Mount Hornsmore, or if you just want to play along, drop it in the comments below. Let's hear your favorite Thanksgiving dishes. If you have a non-traditional Thanksgiving dish that your family eats that regular Thanksgivings don't have, leave it in the comment below. Give us some ideas. I'm going to try that glazed carrot, Scott, because that sounds phenomenal. That sounds absolutely delicious. But fellas, we've reached that sad time of the show where we got to say goodbye to our Horniacs until next time. So, last thoughts, Dan Gracie, insert I got nothing here.
No, I actually got a little something.
Oh,
It's nothing crazy.
what do you got?
No, so so if you guys haven't been watching the Stephen Curry sitcom show on Peacock,
He's got a show.
give it a check out. It's not terrible.
He's got a show.
Yeah, he's better. He's a better actor than LeBron.
Really?
Yeah. He has a little sitcom on Peacock. So yeah, if you have Peacock, it's called Mr. Throwback.
I don't know, man.
Check it out.
Have you seen Trainwreck? LeBron was in Trainwreck.
Yeah, that was the only time LeBron. Yeah, LeBron was also in fucking Space Jam 2.
We don't acknowledge that happened.
LeBron's not a good actor.
That never happened. That never happened. What's the show about?
So it's about this guy Danny, and he went to high school with Steph, and he was apparently better than Stephen Curry before Stephen Curry made it into the NBA and all this stuff. But this guy Danny owns like a old school sports store in Chicago. This guy's in Chicago, so a lot of the scenes and stuff are in Chicago. And I mean, I've only seen like 3 episodes so far, but so far it's pretty good. I was surprised by it.
Steph Curry, Chicago confirmed, or
no, no. They show him at like Barclays Center. They show Steph at the United. Sadly, the show opens with the Warriors just destroying the Bulls.
So it's a documentary.
And I was like, oh, I remember this. Yeah, I distinctly remember that game happening. It was like 117-67. I was like, yep, that checks out for Chicago. But no, Danny has like turns out to be like he's a shady person. But I think he turns into a good person for his ex-wife and for his daughter.
Oh.
So far so good. It's a solid show.
Do they got a whole season out, or
do one season?
Do they got a whole season,
Yeah.
or is it one of those they release an episode every other week?
No, whole season's out.
Okay.
Apparently, the show dropped like during the Olympics.
Okay. Can we just take a moment to say how I hate when shows do that? Like, I know, like back in the day of regular TV, it was like find out what happens next week. But like in the era of streaming, can you just release the whole damn season right now? Like, I'm seriously, I don't want to watch one show and then have to watch it next week. It
depends on what show it is. For me, it depends on what show it is. Like if it's like if every episode is like a cliffhanger, then just do a weekly episode.
Dude,
I'm fine with that.
That's the worst, though.
Like a sitcom or something.
That's the worst.
Well, I'm so used to waiting because we grew up with cable.
Yeah, we did.
And that also makes me like more. It helps me pay more attention to the show because I'm just like, okay, I can, I don't know. I like that format for cliffhanger kind of shows. If it's like a sitcom or something or a documentary, I guess, then sure, just put the whole thing out.
You don't like a good old fashioned binge fest where like from 8 a.m. to like 12 a.m. the next day, you're just watching one show? You don't like that? Straight.
Honestly, I haven't done that. I haven't done that since like the first season of The Witcher.
Okay.
I haven't just like binge watched the show.
We did that with Squid Game. We watched all 9 episodes in one day. We started like early and we went to bed at like 4 a.m, just how good it was. Squid Game season 2 coming out soon, by the way. Did you guys watch Squid Game? I don't want to get off on a tangent, but did you watch it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, come on.
I watched the first season.
You're missing out. It's a good show. What'd you think?
I liked it.
What'd you think?
Have you watched Alice in Borderlands?
Was that the Japanese rendition of it?
No, that's the one with the cards. They get put in the they basically just have to do challenges, and if they complete the challenge, they get like a card, and they're trying to get like the whole deck. But it's like if you fail, you die.
Oh,
It's crazy.
ooh, I didn't. I'm gonna have to check that one out. That sounds interesting. But anyway, Scott Berman, final thoughts.
Dan and I are going to be joining a stream in December playing Zombicide.
Oh
We're
yeah.
going to be jumping on the ZZ Drop Twitch channel. I think we're going to be playing a couple Sundays in December. So we'll tweet about it when we're going to be on there. I think our first game or one's December 1st, which is actually a couple days after this episode's coming out. So you should have watched it. What's wrong with you?
Back to back, baby.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
that,
well, we'll be sure to remind them in the Twitter feed.
yeah.
Yeah, that's good. I'm definitely going to be watching that. It's early in the morning, right? Like 9.
Yeah, it's gonna be like 9.
I think so. It's like 10. Oh, okay, I thought it was like 10 for some reason.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'll definitely be tuning in.
It's my first time doing.
Yeah,
playing
it'll
this
be fun.
game,
Really?
so-
Yeah.
Really? Okay. I'll be tuning in.
Other than
Yeah,
that,
I'm excited. I'm excited.
my wife is about to release. They do a thing every December where it's basically like an advent calendar D&D game. So they're releasing an episode every day for till Christmas. The song of Sugar and Snow. So that's going to be on the Dungeons and Drake and Beams channel. So I highly recommend checking that out. It's really cool. It's like they do 30-minute episodes every day.
Kudos to you.
And it's like fully edited with
kudos to your
music
wife,
and
man.
stuff. It's crazy. So that's it.
I could barely edit one episode every 2 weeks, and she's putting them out for 30 days straight.
Yeah, she's
Woman's
done 16
woman's a warrior.
episodes so far, and these have like music and sound effects too. So she's going full out.
So 30 days of Horns Over Hoops.
No. Good luck. You can edit that.
No.
Please put sound effects too in that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh geez, no, you would get me like I could do a live 30 days of live, but I wouldn't be able to do like full editing. And dude, kudos to your wife.
Yep.
Well, that's going to do it for today's episode. We hope you enjoyed the fine broadcast of the Horns Over Hoops podcast. Be sure to like and subscribe. Give us some love. It helps us out a lot. We're going to start going hard on these lives, which was a terrible choice of words. I meant like we're putting a lot of energy towards lives. So check out one of our lives. We have a lot of fun. We interact with you guys, and we just enjoy doing it. Come and talk Bulls with us. Buy our merch, www.denzelrange.com. We got a wide variety of your apparel and accessory desires. You want a cup? Get a cup. You want a hoodie? Get a hoodie. We have a pink vest. I'm going to push the pink vest until somebody buys it. So if you want to hear me shut up about the pink vest, somebody order the pink vest, and I will shut up about it. It's a beautiful vest. It's like it's plaid. It's a plaid pink vest. It's what? Screw it. I'm going to buy the pink vest. I don't care. I'll buy it. I'm still going to talk about it until somebody else buys it, but I'll just buy it for myself. Go follow us on TikTok, Twitter. We have a Blue Sky now. Blue Sky is the up and hip. I don't know what word to use. Hip social media now. So go follow us on Blue Sky. Dude, I don't know words. I'm 35, bro. I'm not 20. I can't use
hip.
I can't just say it.
Hip hop.
It's lit.
Hip hop. Hippopotamus.
Yeah. Join Blue Sky. It's
fire,
lit.
bro.
It's fire. It's peak. My kid hit me with peak yesterday. I'm like, what is that? He's like, what is a mountain?
It's bustling.
I'm like, a mountain has a peak. Exactly. All right. Okay. Getting too old. Young whippersnapper. Anyway, that's going to do it for today's show. Thank you for tuning in. Again, don't forget to like, subscribe, leave us a comment down below. Show us your love. Show love for the Chicago Bulls. And from all of us here at the Horns Over Hoop Studios, we encourage our Bulls fans and our Horniacs to see red and go Bulls. Good night, ladies and gentlemen, and have a safe and happy Thanksgiving. Take care.